Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Apriliani Olii and my ID number is A12122215. I will explain the components of language, components of speaking skills, and the phases of speaking. The first is the component of speaking, which is divided into five components. The first is phonology. The study of speech structure within a language, including both the patterns of basic speech units and the accepted rules of pronunciation, um, is known as phonology. The smallest units of sound that make up a language are called phonemes. For example, the word that contains three phonemes: the the reference one phoneme the. The A maps to the short sound A and the T to its basic sound T. The second is morphology. Moving to the next level of language, we find the study of smallest units of meaning. Uh, morphemes include base words such as hat, dog, dog, or love, uh, as well as affixes such as un and re, the plural s or es, and the past tense ad. Knowledge of the morphology of our language is critical to vocabulary development and reflects the smallest building blocks for comprehension. And then is syntax. The study of how individual words and their most basic meaningful units are combined to create sentence is known as syntax. As words are grouped together when we communicate, we must follow the rules of grammar for our language. In other words, it's syntax. It's the knowledge of syntax that allow us to recognize that the following two sentences, while containing different words, order, and level of complexity, have the same meaning. The boy hit the ball. The ball was hit by the ball. The boy hit the ball. The ball was hit by the boy. Syntax also allow us to accept "I went to the store" as a meaningful or grammatical sentence, while to "store when I" would not be expectable English. Then is semantics. Semantics not only does the grammatical structure of our language provide the needed clues for understanding, we also have a wealth of figurative language and rich description that that adds color and nuance to our communication. And then is pragmatics. Pragmatics refers to the ways the members of the speech community achieve their goals using language. The way we speak to our parents is not the same as the way we interact with a sibling. For example, the language used in a formal speech might be a little resemblance to what we would hear at a lunch with five friends. And next, I will explain the component of speaking skill. The first is pronunciation. Pronunciation is the way for students to produce clearer language when they are speaking. It means that the students can communicate effectively when they have good pronunciation and intonation, even though they have limited vocabulary and grammar. Pronunciation refers to the traditional or customary utterance of words. From that statement can be concluded the pronunciation is the way for student to produce the utterance word clearly when they are speaking. English pronunciation does not amount to mastery of a list of sound or isolated words. Instead, it amounts to learning and practicing the specifically English way of making a speaker talk easy to follow. Moreover, pronunciation includes all those aspects of speech which make for an easily intelligible flow of speech, including segmental articulation, rhythm, intonation, and phrasing, and more peripherally, even gesture, body language, and eye contact. Based on the statement above, can be concluded the pronunciation includes many aspects that include articulation, rhythm, intonation, and phrasing, and more peripherally even gesture, body language, and eye contact. And the second is grammar. Grammar is needed for the student to arrange correct sentence in conversation, both in written and oral forms. Grammar is defined as a systematic way of accounting for and predicting an ideal speaker's or hearer's knowledge of the language. This is done by a set of rules or principles that can be used to generate all well formed or grammatical utterances in the language. The grammar of a language is the description of the way in which words can change their forms and can be combined into sentence in that language. And then is vocabulary. Vocabulary is essential for successful second language use because without an extensive vocabulary, we will be unable to use the structure and function we may have learned to comprehensible communicative. It can be said that one key the success in communicative, which is the power of words. Vocabulary means the appropriate diction or the most important thing in a language, especially in speaking. In spoken language, the vocabulary tends to be familiar and everyday. It means that in spoken language or speaking, the vocabulary use must be very familiar in its use in everyday conversation in order to understand the spoken discourse. Vocabulary is a basic building block of language learning. Students need to know words, their meanings, how they are spelled, and how they are pronounced. Make sure that they explain the meaning as well as the spelling and pronunciation. Vocabulary is the knowledge of meaning of words. What complicates this definition is the fact the words come in at least two forms, oral and written. Oral vocabulary is the set of words for which we know the meanings when we speak or read orally. Written vocabulary consists of those words for which the meaning is known when we write or read silently. These are important distinction because the set of words that beginning readers know are mainly oral representations. And then is fluency. Fluency is defined as the ability to speak communicatively, fluently, and accurately. Fluency usually refers to express oral language freely without interruption in teaching and learning process. If the teacher want to check students' fluency, the teacher allow a student to express themselves freely without interruption. The teacher does not correct immediately, whereas the idea being that too much correction interferes with the flow of conversation. And last one is comprehension. And last one is comprehension. Comprehension is an ability to perceive and process structure of discourse, to formulate representation the meaning of sentences. Comprehension of a second language is more difficult to study since it's not directly observable and must be inferred from overt verbal and nonverbal responses by artificial instruments or by the intuition of the teacher or researcher. And the next, I will explain devices of speaking. A monologue is a speech delivered by one character, most often to express his thought aloud, although sometimes also addressed directly to other characters or the audience. This is common in various dramatic media such as drama, film, and poetry, and can also be a dramatic work for a single performance. The second device is dialogue. Dialogue is a written or spoken conversation exchange between two or more people. And the literary and theatrical forms that depicts such exchanges. It can also refer to sentences spoken by character in books, film, or plays, or a conversation between fictional character or real people. That's all from me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.